Shalom. All praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh Dash. Double honors goes to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught me the truth. And much love and peace and blessings goes out to all you hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in truth and in sincerity. So this will be a lesson. I'm going to entitle this, A Great Humbling is Coming to America. Because pretty much America, as the whole world knows, is a great nation. Great in terms of its achievements in comparison to the other nations, right? As far as advancements in technology and science and mathematics, the wealth that it boasts, right? The United States, as it stands, is the world reserve currency, which many nations, many of the top nations of the earth have to trade and dibble and dabble in it just to get ahead. For example, for using oil, which is a major commodity in any country. You can't survive without oil. Oil is what keeps the blood vein of a nation or country running, because what people need to get to and fro, goods need to get to and fro. So you think about that, if on down to the random town or village in Saudi Arabia somewhere, that dollar is connected to that very town or city moving its goods and sustaining itself. On down to American cinema, where people like to watch American movies. They like to listen to American music. Some of the biggest and most famous entertainers of the last 100 years, man, have come from America, and they gather worldwide fame, man. So be that as it may, America, in other words, Babylon, in the scriptures, they've gotten prestige. And I have this definition for prestige. It says, widespread respect and admiration felt for someone or something on the basis of a perception of their achievements or quality. See? And that pretty much is what America has garnered from the other nations, man. That's why in the book of Revelation, when the scriptures was describing America as Babylon, when John seen it in the form of a woman, he marveled greatly at it, right? It was an admiration to it because it was beautiful. And that represents America in all of its delicacy, right? But at the foundation of of all the fame and what you would you can call greatness of America is really wickedness and oppression. Because all the meanwhile, while America, was producing all these great inventors, coming out with these great movies, this is wickedness interwoven into it, like homosexuality, like women's rights, oppressing the Israelites, slaughtering men, women, and children of the Native American tribes, enslaving the so-called blacks of America. They were doing this while they were gathering all of this prestige and fame, So it's to the point where America has reached a zenith and it's able to boast of all these things. But that's why this is the perfect time where the Most High can bring that humbling. Excuse me. I got my allergies bother me bad right now. Salakia, Akim. So that's why I want to go to Salakia. This is here. 10 great American achievements. Says the internet, cell phones, machine guns, Panama Canal. Panama Canal is a major feat in modern engineering, right? It says the project that dwarfed the problems in the building the Suez Canal. The U.S. accomplished what the French could not and provided easy access between the Atlantic and Pacific, facing incredible engineering obstacles and especially disease. This U.S. achievement accommodates close up to 15,000 ships passing through per year and is approaching its millionth customer. The canal and canal zone were turned over to Panama on December 31st, 1999. Modifications to accommodate much larger ships are being undertaken at this time. So that shows you, pretty much the feats of Americans, in other words, Babylonians, and also I might add America, aka Babylon, is ran by the Edomites, man. Excuse me, man. Satan all of a sudden wants to bother me with these allergies while I do this video. So bear with me, Aki. But like I said, a major humbling is coming. And we can see that pretty much by what's been going on the past couple years in America. It's been really a decline in the power overall in America, so to speak. Past couple years all the way down to what's happening now. The economy declining in certain aspects, morality declining. So, hey, this is Isaiah 10 and let's go to Isaiah 10 and 12. It says, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of the Syria. And if you understand history, the Assyrians were actually the rulers of the ancient Babylonian Empire, right? Because the first Babylon, of course, was ruled by Nimrod in the scriptures, who was of the seed of Cush. But then by process of time, that same land was taken over by Assyrians. And then the Assyrians controlled the Babylonian Empire, which was prominent directly before the Persian Empire, right? Historians also call it the Achaemenid Empire. It says, and the glory of his high looks. Hey, and this glory of the high looks of the king of Assyria, hey, look at the actions of Donald Trump. How proud and stout he was on camera. Scriptures say he had a look that was more stout than his fellows. A lot of American presidents, they have a certain level of boasting in the way they in their manner of speech and the words they say and how they look in general, man. Like I mentioned, Donald Trump, like Joe Blow Biden. It was a point in time when he was younger. You could look up videos of Joe Biden when he was young. You can't tell me just judging off the look that he was not a proud devil, man. So that's what that's talking about. It says, for he saith, by the strength of my hand I have done it. And that's the sentiment of the Americans, from the highest to the average American. They believe that through their own ingenuity that they accomplish these feats, but they don't understand that they get programmed from the Most High to do what they do. It says, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And that's that talk right there. That's Esau boasting in his feats, conquering the world, sowing discord. Like you have something called the Monroe Doctrine, where they basically claim that just due to the supremacy of the United States, that everything on the Western Hemisphere, it belongs to their domain. They have the right to function in all parts of South America, Caribbean, Mexico, Canada. You know, it says, "And my hand hath found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth or peeped." Meaning, you other nations, you couldn't do shit against me. I conquered the Japanese, the Chinese, which the Chinese are coming back into power within this past 10 to 15 years. But before that, Esau had them on lock. You have the South Koreans, which Esau conquered. Esau conquered portions of Africa, and of course the tribes. Okay, and when they pretty much the world was able to do nothing before him because of his advancements in weaponry, like submarines, the different guns. Okay, it says, "Shall the axe boast itself?" This is the Most High now questioning. "Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith?" Because that's the true dynamic of Esau's capabilities. He's just an axe. He's not someone even controlling his own self. He's an axe. He's a tool. But that's why the Lord is asking, shall the axe boast? Because that's foolish. It says, "Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself, as if it were no wood? Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness." And this, the fat of the average American, pretty much the Edomites, represents their witches, their cars, their clothes, that dollar. The abundance of food and resources that's here, like water. All of that is going to be taken away in the coming times. That's why there are heavy talks of famine and crop failure, food shortages, because that's the Most High sending leanness. All right. It says, "And undergo his glory, he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire." You see? And pretty much that represents this devil going down. Okay, it says, "And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame, and it shall burn and devour his thorns and his briers in one day." And that represents pretty much that crooked nature of America and all of its, wicked glory, if you will, being taken out by the root and destroyed. Like the book of Malachi, the 4th chapter says, "The day cometh that shall burn as an oven," because the thermonuclear missiles is coming to destroy and do away with all the glory of America. So it will be no point in boasting about some damn Panama Canal. All the people and all their memory is going to be wiped out in that day. And all they're going to have for a memorial or to something that that they could talk about is the fact that this precious land, which has garnered so much praise from the nations, is now a fucking desert. All right. So all praise goes to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Shalom.